Testing, 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 testing. All right, is this mic good? All right, can y'all hear me? I think this should be going through. My only last thing is I need to figure out how to view the chat. I'm not convinced that I can view the chat. Looks like there's a couple people here. Somebody mind just sending a message to see if it comes through this little thing that I'm looking at. I'm not going to have the chat live on the screen. I don't have all this nice streaming set up. I'm just kind of doing this for fun. Maybe this concurrent viewers was actually me testing it. There we go. There we go. This is not going to scroll. There we go. That's better. Oh, hey Chase, what's up? I finally figured out how to pop this out to scroll it. Yo, what's up? Cool. Man, OBS. It's terrible. All right, don't move that. Do not move that there. Do not. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. Sweet. All right. I don't know how much I'm going to talk. Start this off. I have an idea. Recently, been playing with AI. Been playing with Claude skills specifically. It's basically just like a way to do tool calling, and I was able to give it. Whenever I give it this ability to do something like read my email, I've always been super impressed with all of the things that it can build on top of that. Like once it's able to have access to some data, it's able to get the same data in different ways, you know, like emails from today and emails from yesterday, and then do interesting things like compare them or just sort of infer a lot of information. And then using that, it's able to, you know, keep going and move even further and just sort of build up these workflows. When I've done products before or just wanted to, you know, automate something, I've always had to, I've usually avoided using, you know, graph-based automation editor stuff. I've always just written code. And it's worked okay, but it's just like, it's so much boilerplate code to get all these sources of data, figure out how to compare them the way that I want to, put those into a spreadsheet. And AI is just this like transformative technology with this kind of stuff. It's also really good at writing code. But honestly, one of the things I'm really impressed by is just this ability to just, once you give it access to something, you're able to just like use natural language to do all sorts of pretty insane stuff. And so I was thinking, I've always wanted to give AI access to runtime JavaScript engine like features. And so my first thing was like, what if we gave it access to V8? And I know like we could run the browser, let it dump some code in the browser, see what happens. But what I want to play with is actually embedding a JavaScript engine directly into an agent. And it actually is able to query directly into that JavaScript engine, see what like values are available, what the names of those values are, what types those are, and then just see what kind of happens. And so I've started this thing. Let me see. This is super, I mean, I got an LLM to write this in like 5 minutes. This doesn't do anything yet. But if you imagine this not as an AI assistant or like a conversation with an assistant, but more as a REPL. So a REPL, if you don't know, is this thing where every single language has one. Some languages use them better than others. But for Node, you can go into Node and say 3 plus 3, right? And it gives you the output. So REPL stands for read, eval, print, loop. So it's going to read your input. And it actually does this interesting thing. Like modern REPLs will actually kind of eagerly evaluate it and show you the output gray in this kind of preview gray text. But it reads this input, it evaluates it, and then it prints it, and then it loops, right? If you work with AI at all, this should be a super familiar. This is what an agent is basically. And so I thought it'd be cool. What if we meshed these two together? What if there was a REPL that was also in an agent? So what if I could type code into here, but then I could also say, hey, call foo with maybe not with these args. Like, what is something interesting that we could do? Like, what functions does foo call? And instead of I've noticed that a lot of the current way to do this really is just to statically analyze the text. What I want to allow it to do is actually look into the bytecode of the engine, and I just want to do it for fun. Maybe this won't turn into anything, but I just think it could be super fun. Instead of starting with V8, I started looking into that. It's just super complicated to compile it, and it didn't seem to actually provide as many introspection APIs as I thought. There's like debugger hooks, but those are actually really hard to get to. You're not actually really supposed to be able to inspect like the scope of a function. And so because it's so difficult, let's just start as a prototype using Quick.js. So Quick.js is a JavaScript engine written by Fabrice, I think. And I think there's actually like there's a fork of it because I think it was not maintained super fast for a while. I don't really know the status of it. Let's wait. Quick.js ng. Where is the actual one? So yeah. So I will use this one. Oh, it's actually. Oh, I see. I think I was on it before. It's the org is called Quick.js ng, and then the repo is still Quick.js. So this is a really good modern JavaScript engine that supports almost everything. It's also super easy to compile. It's basically just a bunch of C files. And so what I want to do, there's a couple steps here. So these are just a couple features. There's an embedded chat interface on the web. It could also provide an MCP server. So you could actually, if you didn't want to use, this interface, which is my own custom thing, and you wanted to use like Claude Code, you could actually provide an MCP server so that external agents could also connect to this and kind of do the same thing. So you could have like a multi-collaborative environment. Right now, we're just going to focus on data. So the first use case is, hey, if I'm getting it to go and if I'm getting it to go fetch a bunch of stuff, then it wants to store that data somewhere. And what I have found it so powerful for when it fetches a bunch of data, it will remember the output of that tool call and it will keep it in context. And so if you fetch 10 emails, then you can kind of work with those emails. But wouldn't it be cool if it also set those emails as actually something in this heap, right? Like as like runtime data that I could come over here and actually inspect. And there's a whole world of things right now that our people are working on this kind of stuff. I think there's something recently called Agent FS, which is like a file system for agents. It's basically just a place where now that we have these like a numerous amount of async collaborative agents, they need a way to kind of put data somewhere and read it back. And so I'm assuming this is like a cloud-based file system because that's one of the use cases for AI right now is people who run agents in the cloud. I'm actually not doing that. I'm actually more interested right now in just local agents. And so I don't need cloud. So I want this, like, my envision here would be a super interesting kind of creative tool to build stuff. And so I could write maybe GL shaders in here, get AI to kind of help me with it, have like a pane over here that is the output of the shaders. And I can just at runtime, just like massage my program and just kind of iterate and be creative. That's just one example, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Yeah, so this is the features. Show the data. We can even like highlight when the data is retrieved or set, so we can kind of like have a log about what's happening with the agents. And then eventually we could also start rationalizing about functions. And so if we have the bytecode, which so QuickJS is an interpreter, it actually doesn't compile at all. It compiles it out to a bytecode. So theoretically, the AI should be able to inspect that bytecode and get interesting insights to it. So we could ask things about functions. What is this closure? What is it closed over? What is the, like, topologically sort this list of functions based off of which functions are called, right? You don't, so HNFS, I don't really know anything about it. So it's just an abstraction on top of SQLite. That's interesting. So I guess that's not for cloud agents then. To be clear too, I am super early. Like I do not have well-formed opinions on agents, and this is a whole new world really. So this is like, that's also one of the major reasons why I'm doing this. This is a reason for me to kind of like form my opinions on what all of these things are, and just to learn. So with these things, the implementation is, QuickJS, JS engine. We need this to run on the web with WASM. We need to talk to an LLM. I will probably just talk to, I'll probably talk to Anthropic and use, I think Sonnet is the one. I don't know. That's something that I'm going to play with. I'll probably start with Anthropic just because that's the one that I do use every day. So I'm kind of used to how it works. I do need to export other models. So I need to figure out how to do that. Actually, I have never done that. So I'm going to build very basic chat interface. So we'll see how hard that is. And once we get here, then we'll need to expose the runtime JS data to the LLM. This part, once we get to this part, should be super easy. It's just like passing tool calls. I wanted to get this ready by this stream, and I wasn't able to. So the first step is we actually have to compile QuickJS to WASM. I kind of, for some reason, assumed that this was already built into QuickJS because it just seems like such an obvious use case. But it looks like there's not like a WASM target already. So it looks like Just Jake actually has this QuickJS emscripten. The only problem with this though is that I was trying to figure out how it actually pulled in QuickJS, and it pulls it in via, I don't actually have it up, via like a Git subtree. And I could potentially use this, but I wanted to see if I could just compile QuickJS myself, because I'm actually going to be changing QuickJS source code quite significantly. I'm going to actually be using AI to add a lot of things to the QuickJS C code so that I can actually add like inspection features. So what I did was up here, this is probably way too high up. I asked Claude Code, which I am using, I'm using Sonnet 4.5. I asked it to compile this to WebAssembly. And this is the one-shot first approach. Supposedly it works. The WASM library is production ready. I doubt it. There's no way that worked. It went off and installed. So if I look at QuickJS, it installed. Is this worded? Yeah. So it installed the emscript and SDK locally directly into QuickJS, and then it just like spent 20 minutes trying to compile it. So it gave me a URL, and so let's go to that URL and see what happens. I would be astounded. I would be blown away if this worked first try, because getting things to compile with emscripten is super annoying. Click run code to execute script. Looks pretty good. That's super crazy. Let's see. Let's just make sure that it didn't hard code something. That is insane. If this actually worked, this isn't just like evaluating it live in this page, is it? That would be hilarious. It looks like it's actually loading an 840 kilobyte WASM file. Supposedly this worked, which is insane. So I don't even need that other emscripting compiled one. So this is great. If I'm still skeptical. I think it's cheating somehow, because there's no way that it one-shotted that. that means that we can change the C code here and add all kinds of stuff to it. So, okay, I guess let's see if this actually works by, let's pull it in to here and actually get this working. Again, this is not really a real implementation at all. And also let me know let me bump up the font size. I meant to do that before. I think this probably needs to be bigger. How's the font size? Hey, Robin, what's up? Thanks for joining. Let me know if any of these font sizes are too small. Okay, so that is wild. That is crazy that it just figured out how to compile this with mscripten. Okay, so let's see, how do I see, what did it actually do? Where's that Python? Where's the, there's an index.html in here. How does this actually load that WASM file? Yeah, it's right here. Well, no, that's not where it loads it. Where does it load it? Import QuickJS from QuickJS WASM. Here's the API. Yep, here's the API. Insane. Cool. Does all that. It just did it. It just one-shotted that. That is crazy. That's wild. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So right now there are two different projects, but QuickJS is a subdirectory, but it still has its own Git. It's still a subdirectory thing. So Claude isn't going to be able to run across, let's see, how many, I'm curious too, how many, is this the one that it did? Yeah. 65%. I was worried I was going to, I've never actually gotten rate limited. I'm on the max plan, so I do have a lot of space. That's crazy. I'm still kind of blown away by that. So, okay, so we need to use this in here by now. And so what I'm going to do is kill this one. I don't need this anymore. Stop. Go back to my agent one. List my sessions. Which one do I have? Let's pull this over here. Okay. Come on, let's just start a new one. Okay. In QuickJS folder, I keep losing my place. All right, code agent. In QuickJS folder, there is an mscripten compiled version of QuickJS. Let's see. Yeah, look at the index.html file for how it loads it. Load in QuickJS. Where do we want to load this? I guess maybe in main. Load in the web version. I don't know if that's the best way to say it. We'll see what it does. Should be able to import. I think this is using V. I think it should be able to import outside of source, but we'll see what happens. Copy. Oh, it's copying the WASM files out. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. It's gonna suck though, because every time I edit it, maybe I can symlink it or something. Again, I was hoping to have this done before the stream, but maybe it's kind of interesting how I use AI for this. See, is there anything I can be doing while this is working? So when it integrates it, I'm going to want to call it whenever I submit something in there. I think it's almost done. I don't think I can really do anything parallel here. I think this is probably it might automatically wire it up actually. Actually, okay, so one thing I could be doing is, let's just clear this because that was a lot of context. Okay, this isn't QuickJS. What kind of things do we want to do? We need a way to set a variable via the QuickJS APIs. Like, how do I do that via C? Because we're going to have something that maybe the LM came back with some data. And we're going to want to set that into our JavaScript engine. We could compile it to a string and eval it, but maybe like there's a way to, a more first class way to like set a global variable. I kind of like doing that rather than just like compiling it out to a string and eval doing it. Cool. All right. Well, okay. So it did touch. Yeah, it enhanced the values. Oh my gosh, it enhanced the values panel to already show the QuickJS runtime status. Yeah, it might have already done things. What else did it do? Create a QuickJS service. Cool. I don't really love, I wish I could tell it to, I mean, maybe I should figure out how to tell it to stop doing this. I'm not into the background tasks yet. I like running this myself so that I can actually see it. Exactly, because I can see, can't import non-asset file. All right, I'm surprised it didn't see that when it tried to run it. Yeah, V doesn't allow dynamic imports from, yeah, just move it to source. That's fine. Again, hopefully we can symlink it so that we can, does V work with symlinks? I hope so. Cool. Oh, actually, okay, so this just shows the status. It doesn't show like the values in the heap and all that kind of stuff yet. That's what we want to do. It's not done yet. Not done yet. Come on. Oh, let's go see. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we can use JS set property string, set property string, set property str. Oh yeah, so pass the global. So you're basically setting it on the global object. It's just an API to set on any object, but then we pass the global object, and so we can provide that. Cool. So we will want to expose this as an API if it doesn't already. So theoretically it works. Oh, no, not Claude. I'm in the wrong. This is probably going to fail because, nope, cool. It's all right. So now it's saying, so now that works. Let's just inspect this really fast to see what it's doing. In main, it's this. In app. So here's all the QuickJS stuff. Created a service, quickjs.ts. And QuickJS is in quickjs.ts. Yeah, so QuickJS line 36. So in here, quickjs.create is not a function. Let's see. Let's just set a debugger here and kind of poke around a little bit before we do much more. What is QuickJS? It is a module. Cool. With default. I wonder if. So let's see. I thought escape should bring up the. I don't care about what's new. Why isn't it bringing up the console? Why is it up here? How do I bring it down to the bottom? It used to be down by the bottom. Is it a mobile thing or like a responsive thing? How the heck do I bring it down to the bottom? Did this change? Oh, thank goodness. Okay. What is QuickJS? It is a module with, is there a default? Is there something messed up with? Yeah. Well, this is just wrong. I mean, there's no create, there's a default. Okay, I'm just gonna get it to, there's no, let's see. This is my, I basically, the way that I use Cloud Code is I have one version embedded into Emacs, which knows everything where I am. And then I usually have some versions out here in the terminal, which are kind of my higher level ones that I do bigger things in. So now I can say this is not working, although why is this not? Can you see where I am in the file? So I feel like usually it says, I think something might be messed up. Usually it says like one line selected down here. Now, is it just not responding now? Let's just quit this. Quit. There we go. See the 2 lines selected. Accept that on. Okay, cool. This is not working. What is the API? Oh wait, there is a. It's a static one. Oh, okay. So it is the default. I think it is the default problem. It's quickjs.default.create. Yep. So let's just fix this ourselves. So let's say default. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. There we go. Oh, hey, I think that worked. QuickJS initialized. That is crazy. Run garbage collection. Did this? Oh my gosh! It actually did wire it up. All right, I didn't even have to tell it to do that. That is insane. All right, cool. We have a working REPL. That's awesome. Let's just double check a couple things. So how does this actually do it? handle submit on send message. It's going to be an app where it actually calls QuickJS. And so this says handle send message right here. I don't know why it has a set timeout. Just make sure that still works. Cool. So yeah, so there is a QuickJS eval. Cool. So that actually worked out better than I thought. We have it compiled through WebAssembly now. We have this little editor here. So we could work on the LM part. But I think I want to still massage this a little bit and change the right-hand side to show a little bit more interesting data. It is. If the object is not expanded. No. If the value is not expanded, because it might not be an object, show the preview of the value in line. Expandable. Cool. Basically just going to list all of the global scope for now. We might want to do some more interesting things later. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true, Robin. That's kind of why I wish I could tell it not to, and I probably could tell it not to automatically fire it off. It is useful for it to handle it because then it can try to start the dev server and then see any errors that happen. I mean, I could try just to kill this and let it handle it. But I think usually when I do a big change, I'll go and I'll restart the whole server and then I'll make sure that I'm looking at this right port too. But it's true that it's kind of messy. All right, while it's doing that, well, I guess we should start looking into how to actually talk to an LLM. What's the best way to do this? I've actually I mean, I worked on an AI assistant at Stripe, but we had all of our own APIs. And so how do you build a chat agent? I know that Vercel has like that AI SDK. What does this do? Or Anthropic, does Anthropic Node API? I mean, you know, let's just ask ChatGPT. There's a toolkit here. Hopefully this isn't going to take, I just need something very basic. I basically just want to, this is like the agent part, right? Like I need well, I guess we already have the loop in a sense. But now we want to submit, sometimes we want to submit what the user has submitted to an LM now. Ideally, it would do streaming if SDKs support that automatically. So chatbot starter template. I guess I could take a look at that and see. I hope this isn't super, just give me like the basic. I don't want all of this. Okay, no, this is way too complicated. So I'm assuming this is not streaming, which is probably fine for now, I guess, just for our initial. So that's one example. Let's see how hard this is. I'll have to generate an API key. I'm tempted just to use this directly until I like to start simple and kind of lower abstractions. So we'll try it. Start the dev server. So I'll let you manage it, Claude, since you really want to. All right. So this is just test text. Let's just remove that. Cool. So if we define a function, oh yeah, that's not gonna work. I can't even shift enter. I will have to have a much better input later. Return 5 times 5. And nope, it did not update. So how do I bet it's not automatically? Ooh, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to listen to changes for like in that scope so that it dynamically updates. It's not showing a new value, presumably because it's not listening for changes. I wonder how, I bet this is going to be like, I can't do that, and I'm going to have to add an API into QuickJS to do that. Make it so it listens for changes, for any mutations in the scope. Oh, come on, why is Emacs doing this? Cloud integration Emacs, there's this one annoying thing that I don't like, is that it gets jumpy sometimes, but it's fine. And automatically re-renders. Cool. For now, we could also just do like a set interval or something if it's too hard. Basically, just want to build a prototype in the next hour. Yep, that's actually what it's going to do. It's just going to pull every half second. Ideally, see, this is why I want to change the QuickJS code. I could probably go in there and actually have an API which observes a scope. Long term, I mean, if this works out and kind of I find interesting use cases, I would love to integrate with V8, because then I could better load in actual real world code and know that it actually works. Okay, so now if I do function foo. Oh, nope. That's weird. Oh, so it is just getting the properties by... Oh, come on. Is there not... Yeah, I don't want to do it this way. Change this and then change Claude. Yeah, I don't want to do it this way. I want it to use don't generate a large string. Use the proper JS APIs directly to iterate and get information. Let's see what that does. While it's doing that, I'm actually going to run off to do something really fast. I'll be right back. Oh, dang, I knew it was going to be blocked on this. There's a chance that we don't really need WASM at all or QuickJS. If a lot of the interesting use cases that I find, it might be able to just infer those from runtime, like in the browser actually, because you can do, function.toSource or toString. That actually like is a in spec will give you back the function, the code for the function. I still think there's got to be interesting use cases though, like inspecting the closure values and things like that. Oh yeah, pressing enter for me, that'd be amazing. Yeah, that's the slick stream setups that I haven't really gotten into yet. Although I don't really know if I want chat controlling my computer. Okay. While it's doing that, let's keep digging into this. How should we do this? Let's just try this. Let's just use the straight up Anthropic AI SDK and see how this works. Maybe we can even do streaming. So we're going to need a This is the quick.js compiling quick.js WASM? Yeah. Install the Anthropic SDK and set up a new page. We don't even have routing yet, so I wonder what it's going to do here. That tests the API. Should stream text from Anthropic text given some input. Okay, so while that's working, this is done. Yes, always do that. This is my quick.js Claude. I rename this now because it's not compiling it anymore. Claude quick.js. Yes. Rebuilding quick.js. Okay, I wonder what I should have committed to make sure it didn't mess up the quick.js build. Because it's already made it, so it's too late. I wonder what APIs that it actually added. Quick.js. Is it here or is it quick.js WASM? That's what it is. And this is the API. So get global properties, this module called QJS get global properties. What is that? Quick.js WASM wrapper. Oh, yeah. So this is the C file. This is the extra thing that it did. And so, yeah, this is all now. This is what I like better. I like it actually using the proper APIs. I just feel like it's going to be way more accurate and easier to work with in the future, too. So it's generating a preview. And so it just generated all of the C code. But it's actually pretty insane. This is cool. This is actually way better than I thought it would be. And it's compiled to C already, I think. Right? Well, it's building now, so potentially it's going to fail. Yeah, this is awesome. We're close. We're close. If I can get the, I should go back to this. If I can get this working, this is the last big thing to do before we can start wiring some things up and playing with it. I don't know why this one is taking so long. Creating an API service. Oh shoot, is this failing? I thought I saw it move around. So is it trying again? Just for reference, was able to it figured out how to compile this into WASM in like 30 minutes. And it took me, I've compiled SQLite to WASM before a couple years ago. And it took me like 2 days. It's pretty insane. I don't know why this is taking so long. It doesn't usually, clock code is usually pretty fast for me. This has been going on for 5 minutes now. So it's creating some massive service. There's no way to inspect more what it's doing, right? This I can understand is rebuilding the entire WebAssembly. I don't know why this one's taking so long though. Is there anything else we can be doing while we're waiting? We need this service. Maybe the file's already here. I don't see any of the Anthropic files yet. View. Oh gosh, yeah, that was my old. That was outdated when I told it to convert everything to view. Okay, is the package.json updated at least? Yeah, that's updated at least. It's in here. What the heck is this doing? Write source services anthropic.ts. I have no idea why that's taking so long. Oof. Okay, but a lot of that is OBS. I expected to see more of a C compiler though. We're blocked. We're blocked. What do we do? What do we do? So once we have this working, is this even still running? Yeah. Once this works, we will need to like determine when to send the message to an LLM or evaluate it. I think the simplest way for now to maybe do that is to try, because I really don't want to pass it to the LLM first and see if that tells us to evaluate it, because that would be a lot slower if you're just writing code as in the REPL. I want to maybe just try to evaluate it, and if it fails, then send it to the LLM. That could be actually kind of interesting anyway, because maybe it could fix up any typos or problems you have automatically, and then we could just reevaluate it. That would be hilarious. So you could just like sloppily write code, and then it would still evaluate it. I bet, I mean, this has got to be something that other people are working on. If anybody is aware of other projects that are kind of integrating code stuff, I've seen a bunch of projects, but a lot of them don't seem to hit the same kind of idea. Like I want this to be kind of a creative coding environment. And a lot of the ones that I've seen still focus on like inspecting code statically and letting you play with it some, but using AI to kind of still help write static text. Like it's not really focused on this, like, let's connect something to a live JavaScript page instance type thing. Or they're like firing up a Chrome instance and then just inspecting it with like the debugger protocol, which is something that's useful too. But then there's not really like a REPL aspect to it. So if anybody knows, and afterwards, if you're watching the recording, if you know any other projects that are doing things along these veins, I would be very interested. Why? I feel like this is stuck. Like, what the heck is happening? I don't want to rewind. Just don't worry about it. Just stop. Just stop. Were they thrashing on each other or something? I don't see why they possibly would be. Like, that wasn't out. That didn't output anything. Let me make sure this is all installed. I mean, is this? What is it compiling it with? LVM, EMCC is the compiler, I think. I don't know why this is taking so long. This is ridiculous. Let's kill that. We don't need that. All right, I think I'm going to stop this. I have no idea. I don't know what it was doing. Because I think these errors are, maybe it errored and then it just got stuck. I feel like it's still not doing anything. All right, let's just quit this. I don't know what happened. So it added the APIs and we want to rebuild. I'm not convinced. It's copying the WASM files again, but I bet it didn't fully rebuild, or maybe it did. I don't know. It got stuck. It got stuck somehow. We will find out. I should figure out. And then I can just do it myself too, because then I can also see. Oh, accept edits is not on. Cool. So basically, probably this one. I don't know why I created three different ones. That's weird. Okay. I'm skeptical again. Whoa. Okay. It worked. Yeah, it worked. Great. Can I expand it? I can, sort of. Not really. Oh, yeah, log. Let's do console or let obj equals foo. Did the interval stop? Come on. Let's see. Source services. Is this up to date? Where's, oh, it's probably an app. Yeah. It's an interval. Let's change this just to like every 2 seconds. It worked the first time. It's weird. So console, it's not working basically. I wonder if, let's see. So because it's a const and that's not going where that's not being declared on what we expect. Yep. So the const is declaring it somewhere. We'll have to look at how it evaluates it. This evaluates it, object to object. Food number 2. Let's see how it does with nested objects. Nested object equals this. Deeply nested. Object 3. Yeah, that doesn't work. So a couple of things that I want to do before we move on. I want to indent, when it expands it, I want to indent it. And I also want to make nested stuff work. When expanding an object, indent the expanded fields. Okay. Okay, so it indents it correctly, but the nested objects are not working. Nested objects. Okay, this is the last thing I'll fix before we move on to actually interacting with an LM. Oh boy, generated some C code now. I wish I could scroll up. I have to wait for it to be done to scroll up, which is kind of annoying. It might be a Emacs integration. Oh, I should have, also should have committed this to Git. Just so that I can diff it to know. So it looks like it's probably not a UI issue, but it actually wasn't recursively getting the properties like it should. Oh, it has to build the whole WASM again. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck on it this time. Okay, while it's doing that, let's go back to this. Let's see, can I resume? Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't get stuck. I've been able to run Claude code in the same directory a couple times before. Why are you asking me? Accept edits is on. Cool, so now I wrote that file. This is doing a lot of work. Why are you asking me? I have accept edits on, right? Did this get stuck again? This is so bizarre. I've totally run Claude multiple times in the same thing before. No, okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, so now we should have source services. Again, why are you asking me? Something is... Oh, I know what's going on. Yeah. It's... I've freaking messed this up. It's connecting through, I think it's asking somehow, I forget how I did it before. I made it, I think it's asking this, I need to turn this on. This was asking Emacs, these changes were popping up into Emacs because this has Emacs as the thing to ask for. So I needed to set this, which is fine. Okay, so that actually makes a lot of sense. Now this is all messed up. Okay. Hopefully this is not stuck again. The build is complete. Okay. Why is this always getting stuck on the build? What is it doing? Well, let's give it a couple more seconds. Source components, Anthropic test, main. Did it create another route? How did it do that? App.tsx. Oh, yeah, it just created like a tab or something. Cool. All right, let's see, I need to figure this out. I need to go to and get a key, which I should probably not show you all. Hopefully I can hide this somehow. I think this gets stuck on the build for some reason. It's really weird. All right, I'm gonna have to do this test in a hidden area because I'm not gonna show a key. So let's see if the Anthropic API thing works. Ooh, okay. Your credit balance is too low. What is the API? I'm on the max plan. Do you have to do something bigger? I guess you do have to do, that's not connected to. How does that work? Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to do a little bit of research. This is happening. How is this going? Cool. Let's see if that worked. Oh, I think yeah, that's right. Okay, localhost 5713 or 5173. Let's see. Obj equals obj2 equals obj3. Boom. There you go. Oh yeah, sweet, cool. It's crazy. I just went in and wrote a bunch of C code to make that work. What does it show when I have a function? You can't expand that, which makes sense, I guess. I guess only objects. There you go. That's not bad. What's console logs? Oh, it's an array expansion is not working. That's actually really important. Array expansion. It's not working. I think in maybe 5 minutes, I'll take a coffee break. Hopefully once we get all this, especially the Anthropic stuff, wired up, things will start to get a lot more interesting. All right, so yeah, for the API, I need to buy some credits. I'll just buy like, I thought that my plan might have included something, but it looks like the API is a separate thing. So I'm just gonna buy $5 worth of credits. Why are you asking me? Stop asking me. Oh, did I? Yeah, I guess I restarted, so it did that. Cool. Okay, so I have credits now. Let me pull. Where's my Chrome tab over here? Okay, so I'll show this because you can't see my key. I don't think it's anywhere on here. I'm getting type not found. Cloth not found error. I guess the model might be a wrong model or something. Go in here. So this is having to probably, yeah, it's writing a bunch of C code again. Let's see. Here. I'm going to go pee. I'll be right back. Nice. Cool. Okay, so I'm thinking about things to test. I think something that would be really cool is like in this environment, I can provide access to the native file or native APIs like WebGL or things like that, things that require effects. But if I am able to turn the QuickJS engine into like a dry run where it doesn't actually do anything, but it just describes what happened, so I can actually instrument it, then I could tell the model, try a bunch of stuff, render things to the screen, but instead of actually having to inspect it on the screen, it gets back like a description of what happened. Could be interesting. Basically, it's hard for models to, it's hard to give them access to things like visual things. I know that you can like take a screenshot, you can fire up Chrome and make it take a screenshot, then try to read that. But I think the more higher fidelity information you give it, the faster it can work. I'll show you what I mean later if we can get this working. Oh, I see. So I need to give it my API key again. Shoot, do I still have that? Can you access that afterwards? Once I get this working, I'll store my key somewhere secret, and then yeah, I can't get my key again. I have to do another one. Delete it. Let's see. Let's see how. You all should not see it. Put it in here. It's freaking out. Okay. Have my key. Let me test this off screen because I still need to give it my key. Configure key. I'm still not getting, let's see. What is I'm still getting the Let's go ahead and change it also to load my key from the file system. All right, does that work now? I don't know why it's not, like console should be showing up here. That's weird. Console logs. Oh, it is? Okay, I wonder if it was working before and we just made it do something weird. Console, I wonder if console logs is empty. I don't know. That must be something QuickJS specific. Is this wired up to... Oh, that's weird. Foo just showed... Oh, no, that's right. Is it? Oh, I see. Console logs are my logs. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, I see. So QuickJS just keeps it as an array. I really need to get up enter working too. For some reason, it's not. That's weird. It's like overriding the console logs actually, so that's not working. Maybe it's something that AI actually added in our API or something and it's broken. But it looks like arrays, and it's cool too because it does a little bit of a preview. It looks like it just kind of converts it to a string actually, so that's not super smart. But that works. This works. Cool. Yeah, it's not a function. Cool. Let's see. All right, let's go. So this works well enough, I think, for what we need. Now we just need to get the AI stuff working. All right, so let's try this again. I'm going to do this off screen. Still getting it. This is so weird. Let's see. Let's do some research. What if, so it looks like maybe I just remove the, where's the model ID? It's in the source components, Anthropic test. Can I just remove that? Cool, see you, Robin. I may not be, I might start again later tomorrow. I'm still getting it. Cloud 3.5 sonnet 3.5 error. Okay, let's change also. Let's see. So it's code agent. No, and Claude key. Yeah, Claude key. Project's code agent, Claude key. Oh, I need to save it, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so I know I named it Claude key. I know it shouldn't be called that. It really should be called Anthropic key, but it's fine. Guess this is gonna have to, I wonder how it's gonna do this in like a build step or something. In the build, it's gonna read it and then replace it. Let's do some more research on this though. This is the, let's see. Sometimes I like to try different things. Oh, it's adding a backend server, created a backend server, which is fine. It's not found by the API. Check your account's model list. How do I do that? In the developer console? List the models accessible under your API key. How do I do that? How do I do that? I don't think it's tied to an API key, is it? Button run server. Okay, I gotta run both now. Nice, cool, okay. That works. Theoretically, that works. And then I can stop hiding this tab from you all. The list models endpoint. Okay, how do I, give me a curl. Gonna hit that. Okay, does this work? Localhost. Nice, okay, so that works. But this is, yeah, so this is what I'm seeing. Not found, error. All right, so now we just gotta get this API working. Curl. Gonna run this, do this in a separate one, obviously, for the same reasons. Cool. All right, I got a list of models. This is what it showed me. Yeah, I guess so there's no latest one, and it just was probably using the wrong. So let's use Sonnet 4.5. I bet that it just was using the wrong date. Let's try it. Ooh. Wait. And it streams too? Ooh, fancy. Okay. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Okay, so this is probably the point in the stream which I'll tell people to skip to, because this is probably the most interesting part. Very cool. I might take a quick coffee break actually and just kind of reset. Maybe work on this for another 45 minutes or so. Now I got to figure out the tool calls. Anthropic service, where's that coming from? Messages stream. Cool. And I bet, so this is where I need to add the tools available, which some of the tools will be interacting with the JS engine. And then I'll need the ability to handle those tool calls, give some things back to the agent, maybe provide the ability for the agent to also write and evaluate code. We'll figure it out. All right, I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I'll be back. I'm just going to leave this on, I think. Yep, cool. All right, see y'all. See y'all around 150, 155. Okay, I'm back. Cool. So, thinking about it, a bunch of interesting ideas that once we get this working are interesting. One which is kind of boring is that, when AI fetches some data and it stores it in the JS engine. This is basically what memory is. I've heard of like memory in different AI products. I mean, like we could persist it across sessions too. Feels like that's kind of what memory is essentially. That's not super interesting. The two things that I want to try today are sloppy code, or maybe not sloppy code, but like because that's not too different from. I'm trying to think of something that's like you write something sloppy and the AI can actually evaluate it. It doesn't just look at it, but it can actually fix it up at runtime. Or walking backwards from spec to code using live eval. I mean, I guess this really isn't that different from if you wire up an eval tool. But something else that would be interesting is to get it to talk about the bytecode. That could be cool. So let's try it. I guess this really isn't that different from, like if you have the ability to evaluate code and it's able to do that, then the difference here, it just feels different to me because I can choose to be the primary evaluator, right? Like I can write code here and still be the primary one writing code. But it just feels interesting to in the same form to be able to write something as well here. So it's really just it's a user experience difference, The bytecode thing is interesting though. I am curious to try that. So let's go. All right, let's focus here now on that. Let's clear the context because I think that's all messed up. So change. I'm assuming, let's see, how do I add a tool call, a tool to the Anthropic API? How do I provide a tool? How do I provide a tool? So it's messages. Messages.create. This client messages. Where is it? Stream text. Messages stream. Anthropic messages. Oh, how do I do this with streaming? It's probably the same thing. Yeah, it's probably. Is there a tool? I have TypeScript, right? Is this type? Yeah. So, it's not working to dive down into this. Why is that not working? messages stream. There we go. Okay. Options, quest options. There's tools in here, right? Maybe not. Okay, so how do I do that? Let's go back in here. No, let's go. There is a tools in here. Why is it not in the TypeScript though? I don't see any tool in the request options. Oh, no, I see. Method path. Oh, maybe is it message stream params? Max tokens. Yeah, this looks more like it. Temperature tools. Yep. Cool. So it's right. So provide, how do I, let's see. Let's start by giving it access to the JS context. Add a tool that allows the LM to set data in our quick JS engine. So when we do the bytecode idea, I'm trying to think of what tools it needs for that. We'll need the ability to get the bytecode of a function, and then what kind of interesting questions about that bytecode. Because it might need to call into QuickJS to kind of get more information about pieces of that bytecode. I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe just the ability to look up variables. Let's see. Okay. Anthropic. So now tool set global variable. QuickJS set global. So now there's a set global call. Huh? Let's see if it works. Oh, actually, okay. So we also need to get rid of this and integrate it with this here also. Get rid of the if it fails to evaluate, and we'll have to see if it's a question. Yeah, we'll have to do some prompting. Cool. So it's doing the integration. We'll see how well it does on the first pass. Basically in chat panel, it's going to change this. Actually, it's going to be more in the app. This is where it actually coordinates all of the handle send message. So here is where it should basically try to evaluate it. If it fails, we should need a tool call probably for just general evaluation of code also. Cool. So here it is. If success, oh, is that the type of that? Interesting. TypeScript is not. Oh, yeah. So for what it's worth, we're providing a console object, and yeah, we're the ones who did console logs. I was wondering that before, and that's busted. Console logs. Come on. Console logs. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So it stringifies all the arguments and then pushes it on the console logs. Oh, so it wraps the whole thing in a try catch. So that's where it wraps the whole thing in a try catch. All right, how is this doing? So technically, this might work. Let's see, handle send message. Tries to evaluate it. If it was successful, it does the response text. If it's not successful, add a placeholder message that will update as we stream. Very cool. It always, so we're just gonna have, right now we're gonna have to be careful to not send multiple messages. It always just updates the last message, which is interesting. Let's see if it works. So 3 plus 3 is 6. Bar is 3 plus 4, or 3 plus 6, it's 9. Expecting that. Yes, I know that's a, oh, I bet that, yeah, I bet this is something, yeah. I think this is probably, let's try to fix this ourselves. Let's just do this. Let's set a debugger, and then I also really want this to add the feature in the REPL so that up arrow retrieves the last and see if it, I think it could figure this out, because this is a pretty standard interaction. So I shouldn't have to describe it super detailed. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's see. Cool. There you go. That works. That's so much easier. Let's see. Okay, so if it's a what is the weather today? Let's do this setup code. Oh, I see. So it evals the setup code. This is where it should throw. The code is, what is result? Oh, okay. So it's doing, QuickJS doesn't throw an error. I wonder if that's actually our wrapper function for QuickJS. So QJS does not throw an error. QuickJS.create, QuickJS WASM, QuickJS API, eval. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna need to do probably some C code changes here. It looks like the eval function, let's see, in it's gonna have to do a whole nother WASM build. How's Claude doing? Good. I hope it doesn't change. Oh shoot, I should have, let me see if we can do this really fast. Hope it doesn't change too much here. I'm sure QuickJS has APIs already to get errors, so I just have to figure out what those are. Yeah, so this is just doing it in our wrapper. Perfect. Yeah, so now it's sending back JSON. Cool. JS is exception, exactly. Oh, I see. It was already doing that before. And it just, our wrapper code is already handling the exception, but converting it to a string. And now I think the eval function is going to be changed to return some JSON so that it can properly get back. Why does it need to rebuild the WASM module when it's just changing? Oh, I see. Yeah, this is the C code. There you go. That was much better. Oh no, now it's running the WASM. I think this script is not exiting with the right codes or something because it just gets stuck here. Every single time it tries to build the WASM, it gets stuck. Let's see. Is there anything else we can be doing? How do I get the bytecode for a function? Let's start talking about that. Nice. Okay, cool. So yep, we can totally get the bytecode. What is the bytecode? Might have to do we're gonna want to read allow function module serialization. That's cool. I think my main goal today, let's be able to get the bytecode for any function, and let's just see what kind of information the LM is able to extract from that. Oh, yeah, there you go. QuickJS WASM. Yeah, it's here. Why did that fail? It's kind of nice that it actually knows to automatically copy it. We can just rebuild it and I don't have to manually copy it over. Okay, so it should be almost done. Let's see if that fixes it. Oh man, it reverted my model. Come on. Let's see. Did I get committed? I also want to make sure that git ignore is my key file, cloud key. Shoot. What was the model that we used? I'm gonna have to do that curl command again, and it shows my key. So I'll have to revoke this key afterwards, so that's not in my shell history. Curl, get the models. No, not that one. 4.5. Okay, cool. I don't know if exactly that will work, but theoretically it might help it. Okay, so let's see. Go here. What can you do? Amazing, cool. Should we integrate Markdown? Fine. It's probably just going to take it a second. Maybe I should switch to a. Let's see. How much have I used of my $5 already? It's only been a couple, so it can't be much. But I think the Sonnet 4.5 is a little bit more expensive. I've used 4 cents. Cool. We'll see what happens when I start doing the tool calling and stuff. Oh, yeah. So this is a weird bug too. I need to upgrade my Claude Code integration. There's like some scrolling weirdness. So that's it's not actually making all of these changes. It's just doing some weird scrolling, but it eventually bottoms out. I should actually probably just get out of This works best if I'm doing more fine-tuned interactions here, but I'm kind of not doing that at all right here yet. So I should probably be doing this just in my normal. So this is running under like a terminal emulator inside Emacs, which is why it works. It works for the most part, but it like obviously has some weird bugs because it's running in a terminal emulator inside of Emacs, so that it like knows the files that I'm in and things like that. But I'm not really using that a whole lot right now, so it's not as ideal. So I probably could just do this and just do it in the terminal too. Cool. So that's done. Nice. All right. Let's save this to Git first of all. Make sure my key's not in here. Cloud key, just the example file. Cool. And let's also do that. All right. So let's see. Set a global variable called foo with the value of 5. Cool. That worked out. That worked. Write a JavaScript function called Fibonacci. How the heck do you spell that? Fibonacci. That let's see. Okay. I just told it to do a string. We haven't actually done an evaluator yet, right? So we need to actually hook up an evaluator. Yeah, so I just set it as the string. So now we need to evaluate. Cool. Okay. Add an eval tool that allows cool. My dog is barking. I'll be right back. Yes, always proceed. Why is it exploring the code base structure? An eval, does it not know that I'm talking about? Okay, just escape. Come on. I can just tell it. Let's see. Code agent, source, or is it service? Execute tool. add the tool in the services. Cool. And so this is probably going to be pretty easy. All this does is it returns this. Yep. And then it adds eval here. So that's good. Okay. So now if I say, did this hot reload? I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it did. That's still, yeah, it's probably not hot reloading the service. I think that only works with the UI. So write a JavaScript function, set it as a, well, if I say set it as a global value, it's probably calling that tool, right? In fact, let's see. Let's add a, let's see. Let's start working with the prompt. Messages, user is prompt. What is the prompt? Is it just the stream text? Yeah. Is it, so I can do role user. What's role assistant? I thought there was a system role too. How do I set a system prompt to Anthropic? Oh, it's a separate. Okay, cool. So it's a separate one. So let's go up here and set. Nope. Stream text. Yeah. No, just do. Wait, what? Oh, I see. Yeah, it spreads it on. So system prompt. Is it just a string? Is that all it is? System. There's no system role. Okay. Yep. So, oh, it's a string or an array. Cool. What's text block? Type string. So you can do that and do all these other things. Cool. Okay. So let's do this. Let's remove system from here. And do a system prompt here. You are an assistant to a JavaScript evaluator. You are to help the user evaluate and learn JavaScript. The user will generally be writing JavaScript code directly, but will sometimes ask you questions about the current system. You have full direct access to the live environment. you are fully capable of retrieving all of the runtime code, data, and all other properties of the system. Use the tools provided to do so. What was I doing for this? Why did I even start this? Oh, yeah, that's right. So when you are asked to write code, do not return the code to the user. Use the should we reference tools in here? I guess so. Let's just try it. Let's use the eval tool to directly evaluate the code. Then inspect the JavaScript environment and describe the runtime changes that happened after the evaluation. So let's see. Yeah, we're gonna want to get some reader tools. This is so fun. Oh my gosh. Add more tools in Internet.ts that allows the LM to access information about the runtime system. Curious what tool, if it adds any additional tools. It knows itself. I mean, this is the thing that's going to be asking it, so maybe it can think of other things. So once it does this, it'll be able to evaluate the code, inspect the environment, kind of see what changed, and then describe the changes to the user. I feel like, gosh, why is this happening? My Emacs integration is not playing nicely today. Run GC, that's cool. Get the version of quick.js, get global variables, get global properties, and then get the global variable, get the value of it, right? I wonder how it's gonna, when it gets the global variable, is it gonna serialize it somehow? It probably is gonna serialize it. I wonder if it's just gonna like JSON serialize it, which is not great because maps and other complex data structures won't work. Does not revert? Weird. Okay. Set global variable, get version, run GC. Get global variable. Yeah, so this, just JSON that stringifies it, which isn't great. That's good enough for now. Let's see. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens now. Write a JavaScript function. Oh, it's a function now. Perfect. So, and it evaluates it. Ooh, that's cool. How, let's see. Yeah, so it ran the evaluator. Well, I guess it just knows how Fibonacci works. Why is this not working? Okay. Why is this so weird? Something's messed up. Okay, Fibonacci, cool. Fibonacci 1, 2, 3. No. Oh, come on. Yeah. It's creating it again. Is that right? Am I an idiot? It's only, yeah, it doesn't include. Okay, yeah, that is right. I couldn't remember if it included the latest one or not. Oof, man, I would fail that. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it doesn't. So 0 is 0, 1 is 1. Okay. Let's see. Print out the source code for, let's see. Let's change the, I didn't like that. Print out the source code for Fibonacci. Always inspect the current, I want it to always get the current one. Always inspect the current environment for the value. Let's see. Let's talk about the bytecode. So let's add a tool to get the bytecode. I wonder what that's even going to do, because it's going to need to convert that bytecode into something JavaScript can handle. Let's see. Add a function to the WASM build to get the bytecode of a function. I wonder how it's going to serialize the bytecode. Is there anything else? What are some other interesting ideas that we can do here? We have a whole engine. It'd be cool if it could. I almost feel like this might be a good environment to teach a language, because you could have it pause the bytecode. You could have it. I feel like there's got to be some APIs, and if not, we could get the LM to add them to QuickJS to evaluate per step, so we could actually step through the code and actually inspect what's going on. That could be super interesting, because that's really annoying to do with Chrome. You have to fire up a whole Chrome instance, open the DevTools, and then use the whole debugger API. Or yeah, I guess you don't have to open the DevTools, but somehow you have to enable the debugger API and then do all of that and communicate over this super heavy thing. Doing it here would be much more lightweight, which is interesting. Okay, so compile the code, don't execute it, serialize the bytecode using write object. What is it though? It's a uint8. Is it just a uint8 array? This looks like it's like a first class thing. Like you're allowed it. QuickJS might already know how to serialize it somehow. It's gonna have to rebuild WASM. Yep. Compile. Okay. I need a new tool that gets the bytecode for any function. Oh shoot, this is okay. So this is adding it to okay. Let's stop this. I don't want them to conflict with each other. So this added, yeah, this added it to the WASM wrapper. Let's just wait for this to finish. It takes way too long to rebuild. I wish we could make that faster. Let's see. QuickJS, is there QuickJS bytecode? Oh. Oh my goodness. I can't type today. Bytecode docs. Is there docs for them? Bytecode. There's not, but interesting. I bet we might have to generate some docs about the bytecode. Could be fun. Okay, now let's do it. This should not have to change anything in Quick.js. Yep, this looks good. Oh, nice. Cool. Why is this not automatically reverting? It's weird. Cool. What is this doing? Let's see. Okay. Let's just ask it. So let's see if this works. Where is it? Where is it? Write a function that calculates the sum of an array. Cool. Sum array 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Get the bytecode for sum array. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Quick.js. Quick.js service. It exists right here. Let's see. Let's log. Oh, there we go. Write a function that calculates the sum. Tool call, eval, nice. Get the sum, or get the bytecode. Oh, so yeah, we have no context. We're not passing in the earlier messages yet. So that is interesting. That's something that we should fix too. This bytecode of some array. That's actually why the Fibonacci thing worked that way before, is that it didn't realize that it already wrote it. Okay, so make sure it's exported. I bet it didn't. It's gonna have to recompile it. Shoot. Yeah, we're gonna have to rebuild. Yeah, we're gonna have to rebuild it. Let's see. Maybe we should work on passing in the previous messages. Let's see. So let's see, what is it called? Strand AI messages in order. Change how I send messages so that it always sends all of the previous user and AI messages in order in the same prompt. So that it always sends all of the previous usage in addition to the new message. This will give us some better context. Conversation history, messages.map. Yep. Wait. Stream. Oh, it actually changed the. That's fine. It changed the Anthropic API wrapper. Stream text options. Stream text conversation history. And now this. What? Oh, yeah, that's right. Cool. Yeah, so it adds it as messages here. Cool. Nice. So now that works, the unknown function should be resolved. Okay, cool. Write a function that sums and nice. Okay. Get the bytecode. Let me see if I can say get the bytecode for it. And it just works. Get bytecode, code sum array. That worked. Awesome. All right, here's the hex representation for it. It's just a list of integers, I think. The bytecode includes function metadata, the name, references to the callback function, print out a friendly human readable description of the bytecode. Print it as a list, print it as a table with the first. This is the kind of stuff that I'm really interested in. Does it know to do this? And does it know enough about the bytecode? I'd be surprised if it knows enough about it. I was thinking that we'd have to, because there's no docs on it as far as I could see. There's no docs on the QuickJS bytecode or the internal representation. Meaning the name of the bytecode instruction, and the second being a description of the arguments. It's evaluating something. Wait. Oh. It's parsing that. I don't know if it knows enough about this though. I think we're probably going to have to go into QuickJS and generate instructions for it, and then give that as part of the context. I should probably add some loading or status indicators too. It installed a read string function. I'm not sure what's happening. Is it actually working or not? Wait a second. Wait. Did it evaluate a console.log? Oh my goodness. Let's see. And actually now I know why this console, it resets every time it evaluates. That's why this is always just a 1. So these are all, I think it evaluated a console.log. I never want it to evaluate a console.log. Remaining bytes. Okay. Let's see. Do not use console.log. Or maybe it was actually doing something in the background still, because it seems, no, there you go. Well, it's evaluating. It's evaluating this code again to do it. It's evaluating it again. Main instructions. I don't know. I just think this is interesting to see. I don't know if it really knows enough about it. I have an idea for something else that I want to see if it can get. But again, this is also without providing any introspection APIs. This is what I was looking for. How does it know that? How does it know? Is that true? Is it push const? Why can I not? This messing with this somehow. QuickJS. It is push const. So it must be I don't know. Is it trained on this code and it actually kind of knows that? Is this real? Does this work? That's super cool. This is exactly what I was hoping it would do. Multiple F closure, another closure, create a function closure for the callback. Is there? Oh, there is a callback. There's array.reduce. That's super cool. Okay, so here's a crazy idea. Let's say I have function bar which returns 5. And then function foo, which returns. Oh, darn it. No. Why didn't you just evaluate it? Oh, because ah, that's cool. Wait. That's incredible. Yes, it fixed my sloppy code. That was the other idea, right? To sloppy code, right? And I, without really intentionally doing it, this is kind of what I was thinking I would have to, I would want to do, but it kind of just figured it out. This failed to evaluate because I said returns 5 and not return. And so instead we sent it to the LLM. It figured out, yeah, it was like, okay, I'll try to evaluate it for you. Couldn't do it. And so it found the syntax error and then fixed it and then evaluated it. And that worked. Okay, so before I get there, I actually want to try some more really sloppy code. Return bar times 10. So foo returns 50. I wonder if I can patch bar. Can I change bar? Change bar to return 6. Now it's not going to be able to do this yet, but can I bet we could get QuickJS. Well, shoot, that's true. It's just overriding the global bar, of course. Well, that didn't actually work, but that's actually not that interesting. It actually didn't work. Change bar. So it didn't actually even do that. Oh, so it just evaluated this, which does not, I guess that must not overshadow. Or wait, it didn't. It evaluated the wrong. It just evaled return. Or no, maybe that's probably from before, actually. It didn't evaluate anything. The kind of thing that I was thinking of was actually make bar, and then it's return 5. And then I want it to oh shoot, yeah, can't do that. Return bar times 10. And I need to do like foo2 or something. Okay, so now foo2 is there. I need to make this sticky also. So now I'm curious, can I say things like evaluate the bytecode of foo to find any functions that it depends on? I'll be right back. Gonna go pee. All right. That's pretty cool. At runtime, well, see, I'm curious. Did it cheat? I'm wondering if it just converted the, did like a two source or two toString for it, and then just evaluated the, it did toString. See this right here. I can't really, let's see. It's hard to read this, but there's a foo2.toString dependencies, function name, function call pattern. Yeah, I did a toString, and then it just like, so don't actually need the bytecode for that. We could still do that outside of this whole thing. Patch. Let's see. Okay, I wonder if we could get it to edit the bytecode, or if that's even possible in QuickJS. I don't know. Like, what if we were able to, in foo2, actually get it to patch bar, right? Just actually mutate the bytecode to call a different function. Like, let's do new bar, return 9. Mutate the bytecode of the internal function that foo2, or mutate the bytecode of foo2 to change the internal bar function that it calls to instead call new bar. Now, we haven't provided the ability for it to actually mutate the bytecode, but I'm curious what it's going to try to do. Okay, so once it's compiled, it's stored in an immutable format. I can fix this. I can provide a mutation API. Yeah, it includes all of this stuff. No, I don't want that. I guess that's probably a dead end. What if we... Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I'll pause for today and think about like if this is actually interesting or not, because I think most of the things that I can think of, that the bytecode is not actually providing us a whole lot of useful information, or it's not providing a lot of useful function. It is. I think this is super interesting right here, just to learn about what's going on and learn about like a bytecode interpreter. I was thinking that if it had direct access to an engine, we could do weird things. But a lot of the things I'm thinking of could actually really be done in any JS environment. And as long as you're able to provide like an eval access to it. But this was a fun exercise, at least. I might keep hacking on this if I can think of other interesting use cases for it, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll stream a little bit tomorrow or Wednesday. Maybe I'll work on something else entirely, but this is kind of a fun experiment. So I think I might end it for today, and appreciate you all. The couple people that were watching, appreciate y'all watching. Trying to think of any last thing that I might do. I think that's pretty much it, though. This was fun. At least I have all of these things available now to possibly build some other things. I would love to work towards a sort of creative environment where all of this, again, most of these things you could do with a separate instance using like Cloud Code or Open Code or other things directly that connect to a browser. But there's something about having this inline that I kind of like. So there is still a user experience thing that I think is interesting here. So I might continue on this and have sort of like a live eval thing to the right, and then like a conversation plus REPL on the left that you can kind of like go interchangeably between them, which I think is kind of cool. But anyway, I think that's it for today. Appreciate all y'all. And maybe I'll stream again later. Thanks. Bye.